I just had a feeling like, okay, if this guy cannot do it, who else can do it? What was I doing before working with you, Alex? We were doing random stuff. We were one day, one week sending out invitations on LinkedIn. One week we were just going to a conference, getting leads on, but nothing was very structured. Our messaging was a mess. We needed to get a better structure in the message. And because you're doing it everything for years and you think you know everything, you realize that you sometimes need some consulting from outside to refocus, to get a better messaging, to sharpen the messaging, the way we build our proposals, the way we present now our offering. It's much more clear and much more sharp. That is really what I think is important in the new messaging. The products are the same, the offering is more or less the same, just how we deliver the messaging, and we are driving new leads into the pipeline. I found out that speaking to you, Alex, you gave me directions, showed me what to do. You basically took me by the hand and showed me the right tools. And I think we have now a more structured approach from inviting people, looking in my LinkedIn, speaking with people, building up a community, spreading out the message, sending out the right messages, getting in touch with people, building on a webinar. All combined has brought me about 15 really solid leads, which I'm now going to close in the next couple of weeks, which gives us new revenue. If we hit 4 or 5 of them, it's 250 and 350,000 euros. I kicked out a proposal the other day for 800 people, so 63,000. Then they also have a plant in Germany. That's one deal. We got a lot of people coming back to us, and then I was like, "Oh, Alex, I'm lost over here. What do I do? What is the best way to approach it?" And you gave me a certain guide to say, okay, this is the first step in the conversation, this is the second step of the conversation. We rewrote some of my presentations in a more, I don't know how to really describe it, but in a more solid way, like, okay, prove what you say and say what you prove. We built on like that. There are dozens of companies offering the same services like you do. I spoke to a couple of agencies before who are offering the same service, and they're all doing more or less the same. But when I spoke to you first time, Alex, I had the feeling that you had a better understanding of my pain. You could translate my pain in a very structured way, what we need to do to fix. The way you're doing it is unique, and the way you're thinking about it is unique. You have dozens of companies who can build you a bot on your LinkedIn profile and start connecting people. But it is more, what do you do after when people come back to you? You want to build, you need to create trust. Your coaching on how to structure the calls, you watching me on a video, how I'm doing the calls. I think everything made my sales pitch better and drives me to much better sales. We built a group to better understand the market, to share ideas, to approach people. Today we are at 410 people. I invited people to interview, and while I spoke, I learned a lot about the market. I learned a lot about their ideas, about the promises, about their pains. And from there you build up trust. From the 20, 30 calls I had, at least 15 of them said to me like, hey, why don't we have a next call where we go deeper into your offering. Not every call was like, what do you do? I like what you're doing. I want to buy from you. But you are really getting in touch, speaking with them, building up trust. And it just gives you a lot of new energy. You think you can sell, doing sales for a long time, but you're getting a little bit rusty, and you need somebody like you who was saying like, dude, during your conversation, there was a really nice conversation, but you were talking 90% of the time. Let people talk. So we work together on a nice framework of asking the right questions. People can explain to you their problem, and then you build on that. Without trust, nobody will buy from you. So we were able, with your guidance, to build a lot of new trust with customers. I'm getting these emails almost weekly from a marketing company who tells me they can help me automated systems. We can get you 500 leads per month. But what is really true in our conversation was you understood my pain. You know what we were missing. You were focusing on this industry. And I just had a feeling like, okay, if this guy cannot do it, who else can do it? We don't have a budget of millions of euros. Your price was reasonable. There was a nice promise, proof. You knew what you were talking about. I felt immediately. We both talked about Miller Hyman. We talked about spin selling. We talked about other elements, and I just had the feeling that you know what you were talking about. And sometimes you just have to give it a try. And I'd have to say out, I'm very pleased working with you. What I will say is speak with Alex. Explain him what is your pain. Ask him what is his vision. Ask him what is his vision of his company. Ask him what he will do for you in order to drive sales, and make your own judgment. And just give it a try. And I have to say, it was worth every penny we spent.